Arizona Cardinals have had a strong second half of the season. 6 wins in their last 8 games. A similar story for the Seattle Seahawks. They've won 5 of their last 7. 2 division rivals will want to finish on an upswing. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals on the NFL on Fox. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen, along with my quarterback, Chad Pennington. You hold that football.
You got it.
Jody Jackson is down on the field. And for these two teams, they want to finish on an up note. They've had similar stories, finishing strong in the second half of the season. They want to go into the off season with a win and look ahead to next season. How about what we can expect from Seattle today?
Well, Sam, for Seattle, that momentum has been caused by that running game. We've heard of beast mode, and it's because that offensive line of Seattle and Marshawn Lynch have really bought into Tom Cable's zone running scheme. They've been really successful. Defensively, they are ball hawks. Richard Sherman on the outside, Brandon Browner on the outside. These guys fly around the football and cause turnovers. That's the key for their defensive success.
Now, with Arizona and those 6 wins in the last 8 games, they've come with strong fourth quarter comebacks. They don't want to leave it till the end of the game, do they, Chad?
Well, exactly. Coach Ken Whisenhunt says, I like the strong finishes. It shows that we can be good offensively, but I want to see us start fast today. I want to see us make plays early in the first quarter, not wait until the fourth quarter. Defensively, if Seattle's going to run Marshawn Lynch, the Cardinals defense must stop Marshawn Lynch. Get 8 people around the line of scrimmage and tackle Marshawn Lynch.
All right, Seattle Seahawks won the first meeting of the season between these two teams up in Seattle, 13-10. A lot has changed since then. Ken Whisenhunt looking for a win from his team to go into the offseason 8-8. But look ahead to next season. For Pete Carroll, he says this has been a season where it's been split in half. The first half was a mess, and now things getting better with 5 wins in the last 7. The Cardinals kick it off. Leon Washington brings it out. Finds an opening. Good return by Washington, still going as he's finally hauled down at the 35-yard line. 37-yard return for Leon Washington. The Seahawks have won the last 3 meetings between these two teams. Tavares Jackson is establishing himself as a quality quarterback for the Seahawks. Had an excellent month of December with a 3-1 record and no interceptions thrown in those 4 games.
Well, and that's the key, Sam. Pete Carroll says the number 1 thing in our program is protect the football.
The running back is Marshawn Lynch, and he follows Michael Robinson. Short pickup on the play, and a good tackle by Paris Lennon. We check out the Seahawks on offense. Michael Robinson is a first alternate for the Pro Bowl at fullback. Golden Tate, Ben Obomanu are the lead receivers as they lost their 2 top guys, Mike Williams and Sidney Rice, to injury. Zach Miller, the starting tight end. They'll rotate 3 throughout the game. The offensive line has come on strong after injuries to starters early. Jackson checking off here. Play clock winding down. Gets the play off. He's got time. Goes short to Marshawn Lynch, and he's brought down at the 40-yard line.
Well, and what Tavares Jackson is doing here, Sam, he sees Adrian Wilson right here, number 24, up into the line of scrimmage. That means 8 people around the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a free safety defense, and he's going to check to a pass because he knows he has one-on-ones outside.
There's 3rd and 6. Doug Baldwin, number 15, the leading pass catcher for the Seahawks, is the 3rd wide receiver. Short drop, and the pass caught. No, drop. Good hit by Paris Lennon. Broke up the play. The pass intended for Baldwin. So 3 and out for the Seahawks. Good defensive series for the Arizona Cardinals. John Ryan is the punter, and Patrick Peterson, who injured his Achilles last week in Cincinnati, is a go, and he has 4 returns this season, 4 touchdowns, tying the NFL record. Ryan's kick high. Peterson looks around, takes it from the 12. looking for the opening. He's got everybody excited, but he slips. As he tried to cut upfield, he slipped and went down at the 28-yard line. 17 yards on the return.
And we've talked about it before, Sam. The key to Patrick Peterson is being able to locate the football on the punt return and then check his gunners. If he can have 5 to 7 yards of space, he's taking that return. That's why he's been so successful with those 4 returns for touchdowns.
And Peterson closing in on the return yardage record, rookie record held by Lewis Lips since 1984. Cardinals start at the 28-yard line. With 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, Andre Roberts motions. And the running back is Rod Stevens howling the completion to Jeff King. Up at the 38-yard line, very close to the first down. John Skelton in at quarterback, with Kevin Cobb still out with concussion symptoms.
And what's interesting, Sam, with this game plan, I really believe because the Cardinals have dressed 4 tight ends, you may see a lot of tight end work, the ball going to the tight ends today, especially with these 2 really good corners on the outside.
Anthony Sherman comes in at fullback, and it's Rod Stevens howling, finding an opening, stumbling, but getting a first down up to the, that was a first down run, excuse me, gets 7 up to the 45-yard line. Brandon Mebane on the tackle. There you see the fullback Anthony Sherman. Heading for the Pro Bowl is Larry Fitzgerald once again with another terrific season. The offensive line has Jeremy Bridges starting at right tackle as Brandon Keith was put on IR this week. 2nd and 3 for the Cardinals. Skelton gets good time, puts it up, and too far, intended for Andre Roberts. Had some room, covered by Richard Sherman on the play. Bring up a 3rd down for the Cardinals. Seahawks defensively, they have been strong. Chris Clemens, 11 sacks. Red Bryant has had an outstanding season. Alan Branch, a former Cardinals draft pick. Defensively, the linebackers, David Hawthorne is the leading tackler again. And heading for the Pro Bowl, 2nd-year free safety, Earl Thomas. And the cornerbacks are big. 6'3" and 6'4". Brandon Browner at 6'4" and Richard Sherman at 6'3". On 3rd and 3, everybody out. And the pass off the hands of Andre Roberts. Should have been caught. And the Cardinals forced a punt.
Andre Roberts on the outside, going to run a simple short hook or a hitch route. John Skelton does a nice job of getting that ball over Roy Lewis, the nickel defender, locates the one-on-one outside matchup, just not able to make the catch.
Dave Zastudil to punt. That's Leon Washington back deep inside his 10. Whoa, good pressure put on. Washington watches it bounce, and Michael Adams watches it roll to a stop at the 4-yard line. Big pressure from Doug Baldwin on the punter, Dave Zastudil, but it's still a 51-yard punt by Zastudil. Seahawks have won the last 3 games. Pete Carroll 3-0 against Arizona. The Cardinals all-time lead the series 13-12. Seahawks start from the 4-yard line. Marshawn Lynch, the running back. The fullback is Michael Robinson. There's Lynch. Slowed down the backfield. Fights his way for a yard up to the 5-yard line. And he's still going. Wow, he wouldn't go down. Refused to go down. Darrell Washington finally hauls him down.
And here's what Adrian Wilson says. He says that what happens, the first tackler gets there and the second tackler tries to strip the ball. We can't do that. Our 2nd and 3rd tacklers must tackle Marshawn Lynch, not worrying about stripping the ball until we have him down. That's why this guy doesn't go down easy. He stays square to the hole, always moving his feet.
And for those of you just joining us, welcome to Glendale, Arizona. Sam Rosen, Chad Pennington, Jody Jackson with you. Seahawks on 2nd down. Marshawn Lynch with a little cutback. Gets up to the 14-yard line and very close to the first games. His running has been outstanding.
And offensive coordinator Darrell Bevel said what has happened, he's finally learned the Tom Cable zone scheme. You see here, he breaks the tackle of Darrell Washington. He stays square, keeps his feet moving, but the aiming points of this zone scheme is important.
On 3rd and short with 2 tight ends in, it's a first down. Marshawn Lynch, he's a hard running back. He's 5'11", 215. But he runs really hard.
And what I like, he has taken ownership of this zone scheme. He went to Tom Cable and said, hey, stay on me. If I'm not doing it correctly, let me know. I want to get this down, and that's why he's been successful, having 100-yard rushing games in 6 of the last 8 games.
And there's the former head coach of the Oakland Raiders, Tom Cable. He's assistant head coach to Pete Carroll, offensive line coach, and he handles the running game. Justin Forsett in at running back. And that pass is complete to Golden Tate. Up to the 29, maybe the 28-yard line is where they'll give him forward progress. Rashad Johnson in on the tackle. Pickup of 13 on the play.
Here's an empty formation that Seattle's using against the 3-4 defense, allowing these wide receivers and running backs of Seattle to get in space against the linebackers of the Cardinals. Tavares Jackson being able to locate the slant route to Golden Tate.
Justin Forsett stays in at running back. 2 tight ends in. Jackson steps up and goes deep. Way downfield, and it's off the hands of Ben Obamanu. He had a step on Patrick Peterson.
It starts with the clean pocket, the offensive line protection for Tavares Jackson as he makes the play action fake and watch the ball just jump off of his hand. I mean, this is a deep throw, puts air on it, allows Obamanu to come get up underneath it right off the fingertips.
Peterson stumbled. Had he caught it, it would have been a touchdown. 2 tight ends in. Forsett bounced off his own man, and then Darrell Washington brought him down. Bring up a 3rd and 10. No gain on the play.
Forsett being a smaller running back, you saw the difference between Forsett, Marshawn Lynch, Darrell Washington being able to make this single tackle by himself. If that was Marshawn Lynch, he would certainly need some help.
The rookie, or rather the second-year man, Marche Green, just signed off the practice squad yesterday, is in number 30 at cornerback. Here's 3rd and 10. Jackson, some pressure, dumps it off. Leon Washington is brought down short of the first down, up at the 36-yard line. Patrick Peterson makes the tackle. 8-yard pickup, but the Seahawks forced to punt.
And with Kerry Rhodes out of the lineup for Arizona, Richard Marshall, a corner in nickel defense, goes back and plays safety. That's why Marche Green has to come in at corner.
John Ryan will punt for the second time, and there's Patrick Peterson backing up to his 15-yard line. Ryan, high kick, fair catch, wave 4 by Peterson. It bounces to him, and it's down right there at the 19-yard line. He wanted to return it. That's his instinct, but he couldn't after the fair catch wave.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Back in Glendale, Arizona. Cardinals on offense for the second time. Their defense has gotten off to a good start. Now the Cardinals looking for the offense to get going. John Skelton, the quarterback. 4-2 this season as a starter. 3 wide receivers. Rod Stevens Howling is running back. Beanie Wells is inactive today. Short pickup by Howling. Stevens Howling up to the 21-yard line. Picks up 2 on the play. Beanie Wells, Kerry Rhodes on the defensive side. The starting safety is out today as well. Talking about an ankle, and Beanie Wells has been bothered by a knee problem.
Yes, and talking about that slow start, Sam, John Skelton said, we're just having missed assignments. Everyone's taking his turn and having a missed assignment, and that's the reason for this slow start offensively.
2 tight ends to the right, Jeff King and Jim Dre. Skelton being rushed, steps up, throws deep, and overthrows Andre Roberts. Skelton has had a funny type season. He's got a good arm, and he's young and not very experienced, but sometimes he'll look really good, especially late in games. Early in games, he struggles.
Well, what happens is you're watching a quarterback learning on the job. He had some starts last season, comes into this season, has the high sprained ankle in preseason, loses his reps there, and then he's thrown into the starting lineup mid-season, and he's learning on the job. And what happens, the sense of urgency for a young quarterback when you get down, that really increases. That's why he's been successful in the fourth quarter.
Chester Taylor, the running back. Looks like Seattle may have jumped across. Offside is the call. Our referee is Gene Sterator.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Seattle is the second most penalized team in the league. And Chris Clemens jumps across. Wanted to get that good start on the pass rush. He's had a good year.
And speaking of the sense of urgency for a young quarterback, you've got to find a way to create it early, not wait until your back's against the wall. That's what John Skelton's working through in his young career.
3rd and 3. Fitzgerald motions. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Everybody out. Skelton steps up on the move. First down. Nice play by the quarterback, John Skelton. Let's get our first update of the game. For that, let's go to Los Angeles and Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Lions trying to grab that number 5 seed and hold on to it. Matthew Stafford late in the game in Green Bay, picking up with Tony Shepard, gives them a 41-38 lead at the 2-minute warning. Stafford, 5 touchdown passes, 477 yards, 400 yards, and 5 touchdowns for Matt Flynn as well, Sam and Chad.
That is a wild game. Thanks, Kurt. That has gone back and forth throughout the afternoon. Aaron Rodgers resting. He's inactive in the game. Flynn has been great. This is LaRod Stevens howling, busting loose, trying to beat the quarterback, Brandon Browner, and the safety, Earl Thomas. And Thomas finally brought him down at the 27-yard line. 39-yard run for LaRod Stevens howling.
The key, 35, fullback Anthony Sherman. Watch his block on KJ Wright, chops him down. LaRod Stevens howling, being able to get to the perimeter, and he works his magic from there. But Anthony Sherman did an outstanding job of making that first isolation block on Wright.
Career-long run for LaRod Stevens howling of 39 yards. Ball spotted at the Seahawks 29-yard line. Chester Taylor now in at running back. Early Doucette motions. 3 wide receivers, everybody out. Soft toss, juggled and dropped by Chester Taylor. Trying to get it over the defender. John Skelton threw it a little too high.
It's just a tough situation for John Skelton. He feels Chris Clemens right in his face, trying to get it over Chris Clemens, but back down to the running back Chester Taylor before the defense gets there. It's a tough thing. You've got to learn how to throw around a defender, get it up and down. He'll learn that as he gets more reps.
Larry Fitzgerald lines up in the backfield. Now they shift. Rod Stevens howling in at running back. 2 tight ends. Stevens howling carries, and Earl Thomas takes him down just across the 25-yard line. Picked up a 5 on the play. Some extensive running back time for Rod Stevens howling. Beanie Wells, who's out today, has had a terrific season for Arizona, going over 1,000 yards rushing with 10 rushing touchdowns. But the knee problem forced him out. Now on 3rd down. Chester Taylor in the backfield with John Skelton. 3 wide receivers, everybody out. Skelton throws across the field to the tight end Todd Heap. Inside the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. That was some move by Skelton.
Wow, what an athletic play by John Skelton. He has a nickel blitz coming off the front side. Really good coverage on the front side, but you can see right there on the bottom of your screen, he locates Todd Heap all the way across the field. You normally wouldn't want a quarterback to do this, but because he's so wide open, an athletic play by John Skelton. You think this guy's 6'6", 244, Probably not going to be able to move, but he can really move. He's very athletic.
22-yard pickup, first and goal at the 2-yard line with time winding down on the play clock. Some confusion as to personnel. The Cardinals want on the field. They use a timeout. There's no score, but the Cardinals are threatening. Back in Glendale, Arizona. Cardinals with a first and goal, 2 tight ends in. LaRod Stevens howling, who was split out, shifts back in the backfield. King and Heap, the tight ends to the left side. LaRod Stevens howling. Inside the 1-yard line, just short of the goal line. This is the 9th play of the drive coming up. The Cardinals have had only 14 10-play drives this season. That's next to last, and the team that's last is Seattle. Chester Taylor in the backfield now with the fullback, Anthony Sherman. On second and goal. Taylor over the top. Touchdown. The ball came loose, but they've signaled touchdown, and he broke the plane before the ball came out.
All the ball has to do is cross the plane before he loses control. Right there, across the plane. That's certainly a touchdown for the Arizona Cardinals. I like the play design by Mike Miller. He uses Larry Fitzgerald on a fast motion to make Seattle think of a sprint out pass, and they hit him right up the gut with Chester Taylor over the top.
Now all scoring plays are checked out, and they're checking it out upstairs to see whether this warrants a review. They'll go for the extra point. The touchdown stands, and it is, as you saw, the first quarter touchdown for the Arizona Cardinals since week 2. Extra point by Jay Feely is good, and the Arizona Cardinals with a couple of big plays on a good drive lead it 7-0. It wasn't a 10-play drive, but it was closed, and it was an outstanding drive. 9 plays, 81 yards. LaRod Stevens howling a 39-yard run, and that 22-yard pass to the tight end Todd Heap was a huge play as well.
It's that
5 yards deep, will take a knee. The Cardinals had it well covered. We're in the first quarter, and Arizona has found a way to get into the end zone. Chester Taylor. Back in Glendale, Arizona. Seattle Seahawks' 3rd possession of the game. They punted twice. Leon Washington is the running back. Tavares Jackson, the quarterback. There's Washington trying to get outside. Slowed down, brought down. It's Darrell Washington. We have talked about him many times this season. He is a great sideline-to-sideline linebacker. Great speed, great coverage ability.
Second-year man from TCU. Learned a great deal from Gary Patterson at Texas Christian, and watch his speed. He gets off the block and makes the tackle on Leon Washington.
A little hurry-up offense, quick pass outside, complete to Golden Tate. Up at the 27-yard line, close to the 28. Golden Tate, second-year man out of Notre Dame, and it's hurry up for Seattle. And Leon Washington, he's got a first down, a whole lot more. Nice run by Washington. So it's up-tempo offense here for Seattle. What do you make of that, Chad?
Well, it's a chance to get the energy going, to get the rhythm and the tempo. That's what offensive football is about. This no huddle, you're not in a hurry, but you're trying to dictate the tempo to the defense.
Off the play fake after a 15-yard run. Long throw downfield, overthrows Ben Obamano. I don't know if people realize how strong an arm Tavares Jackson has.
His arm is so live, Sam. It just pops off of his hand. He just barely misses Obamanu there, but that's the key for offensive football in the NFL. You must hit one of those big plays, and that makes your offense so much easier. It gives you a chance to breathe.
And they're right back at the line with no bubble. 2nd and 10. Jackson checking off. Justin Forsett is the running back. Everybody out. Jackson fakes, pulls it down. Brought down after short pickup. Led by O'Brien Schofield, number 50. Has been a good contributor for the Cardinals coming on. 2nd-year man out of Wisconsin. Gain of 3 on the play. And here they go again. Right back to the line. 3 wide receivers in. To get to the Cardinals 47 for first down. That pass complete to Doug Baldwin is a first down at the 44 of Arizona.
You saw the arm strength again right there, rifling that ball in to Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin, a rookie receiver that Seattle and the coaching staff is really excited about.
Had a look at Darrell Bevel, the offensive coordinator on the sideline, formerly with Minnesota, was at Green Bay before that. Justin Forsett shifts, a lot of movement. The ball hadn't been snapped. It'll be a false start.
Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Charge it on Robert Gallery, the left guard.
Going back to Jackson, remember, Sam, he had that pec injury in the middle of the season. That is such a tough injury because it's on his throwing side. And to be able to gut through that and get to this point, he says he really feels good about throwing the football right now.
3 wide receivers. Justin Forsett, the running back. Jackson gets time, swings it out to Forsett. Closing quickly, Michael Adams. Nice play. Forsett never got a chance to latch on to the football and get started. Good job by Adams. Loss of 4 on the play. And here come the Seahawks right to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd down, Jackson. Forsett is slowed down and brought down. Good defensive play by Bonnie Holiday in at defensive end. Bring up a 3rd and long, but we've reached the end of the first quarter. And a good first quarter for the Arizona Cardinals. Their defense has played well, and the offense came through with a long drive. Cardinals lead the Seahawks 7-0. Sam Rosen, Chad Pennington, Jody Jackson with you from Glendale, Arizona. Happy New Year as we start off 2012 with the Seahawks on 3rd down. Have to get to the Cardinals 34-yard line for a first down. Blitz picked up, the play fake. Jackson was hit as he throws. It's incomplete, out of bounds, intended for Golden Tate. Darnell Dockett got there just as Tavares Jackson was releasing. Looks like a flag on the play against the Cardinals.
Hands to the face. Defense, number 27. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Legal hands to the face on Michael Adams. So instead of the Seahawks punting, it's a first down at their 49.
Costly penalty here, right here with Michael Adams. He's going to try to get a jam, and right there on Doug Baldwin, gets his face mask. Wasn't trying to, hands in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Leon Washington, the running back, cuts it back, finds a good hole, still going. And Richard Marshall wrestles him down with a high, hard tackle. Pickup of 8 on the play. Marshawn Lynch not seeing much playing time. I don't know if he got hurt on that first series or if Pete Carroll is just elected to play the other backs. Jackson's pass complete to Golden Tate. Good grab, good yardage after the catch by Golden Tate. Down to the 20-yard line. Second-year receivers become very important with the injuries they've had at wideouts.
Simple hitch route by Golden Tate, and Adrian Wilson almost makes the play. Nice job by Tavares Jackson on his throw.
With the hurry-up offense, Jackson in trouble, spins away. Trying to fight off the defender, but Darrell Washington just pulls him out of bounds. Paris Lennon almost had him. Jackson stayed on his feet.
Nothing positive happens here for Seattle, but look at the strength of Tavares Jackson. Seattle coaches talked about this guy is strong. He's hard to bring down. Ray Horton called him a baby Vic. Now, Tavares doesn't like to run a lot, but he's strong and he can move around and make plays on the move.
First sack of the game. Back to the 24-yard line. Marshawn Lynch must have heard us. He's back on the field. 3 wide receivers. 2nd and 14. There's Lynch straight ahead. And he's pulled down at the 15-yard line. Pickup of 9 on the play. Paris Lennon on the tackle. Paris Lennon closing in on 100 tackles this season. He's done a good job as a veteran leader. They had brought in Stuart Bradley to challenge for that inside linebacker position. But Paris Lennon has been the man. Leon Washington back in the backfield for the Seahawks. To the red zone offense for Seattle. With 3 wide receivers, a timeout called by Arizona. Their 2nd timeout used. Darrell Bevel, the offensive coordinator, calling a balanced attack thus far in the game. 12 passes, 10 runs. This is the 14th play of this drive, which ties the longest drive in number of plays this season for Seattle. Only their 11th, or rather their 13th drive of 10 plays or more. Lynch in the backfield with Jackson on 3rd down and 5. Jackson gets tightened, and he had a little time, held on to it too long. Darnell Dockett got there for the 2nd sack of the game for the Cardinals.
Cat and mouse game with Arizona's defense. They show a pressure look and then back out with 7 to 8 defenders in coverage. Darnell Dockett does a great job. This veteran has really stepped up for his defense this year with leadership.
He's only had 3.5 sacks, including that one, but all the teammates say has been very, very important. 43-yard field goal try for Stephen Hauschka. And it's good. And the Seahawks are on the board. Darnell Dockett getting a sack. Cardinals maintain the lead. Stephen Hauschka's 43-yard field goal puts Seattle on the scoreboard after a 14-play drive. Nearly 6 minutes of possession time for the Seahawks. A.J. Jefferson back deep to return the kickoff. Jefferson season long, 51 yards. Jefferson back deep. Nope. Decides to take a knee. Cardinals on offense. They have a 7-3 lead here in the first half.
Klein, 26 touchdowns for Kansas State quarterback, and Arkansas, another SEC team that probably deserved a BCS consideration.
3rd possession of the game for the Cardinals. Rod Stevens howling the running back. Skelton to put it up on 1st down. Completes it to Rob Hausler, and he lost the football. It's recovered by K.J. Wright, the linebacker for Seattle, and he's got running room. Wright gets it back to the 20-yard line. Hausler, after a good gain, lost the football.
And here the ball hawks for Seattle go through K.J. Wright's hand. Hausler, the rookie from Florida Atlantic, makes a nice grab, but Earl Thomas comes in and strips it. K.J. Wright picks it up with the return. That's exactly what Seattle's defense wants.
Seattle has been a good takeaway team this year. Their turnover ratio has been outstanding. They have really improved their takeaways, and here they got a chance to cash in. Marshawn Lynch, the running back. The fullback is Michael Robinson. And 2 tight ends in. Lynch. It's down to the 16-yard line. Picks up 4 on the play.
In football, we call this sudden change, Sam. On defense, you have a sudden change because of an offensive turnover. Offensively, you have a sudden change because your defense has caused a turnover. Let's see who wins this battle down here in the red zone.
2nd and 6. Marshawn Lynch, 6 carries, 26 yards. Remains in, 2 tight ends. Short drop by Jackson. Looking for the corner of the end zone. And it's juggled and dropped. There's a flag on the play. Pass intended for Ben Obamanu. Covered by Michael Adams on the play. And we'll check out the flag.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense, number 27, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Illegal contact gives Seattle a first down.
Obamano is going to run a slant and go. You see Michael Adams stutter his feet, puts his hands on him. That's where the illegal contact comes from. Tavares Jackson recognized that man coverage because on the other side of the formation was a tight end, and Adrian Wilson went out with that tight end. That told him man coverage, not zone.
Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator of the Cardinals. 1st and 10 for Seattle at the 11-yard line. They stop the play. Flags fly. We'll check this out. Gene Steratore 9th year as an official in the NFL, his 6th as a referee.
False start. Offense, number 68, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
The right tackle, Reno Giacomini, man called on the false start. Pete Carroll has had to retool that offensive line. They had a couple of high draft picks, including Campbell, Carpenter, the number 1 pick. They used their 3rd pick on an offensive lineman. Russell Okung, the number 1 draft pick from last year. They all went down. 3 tight ends in with Marshawn Lynch split out. Jackson, pressure, and they've got a flag on the play. He threw the ball into the ground, but he may have been down.
Is that the quarterback was down because his forward progress was stopped. He was being driven backward. He will be down at the 27-yard line.
No intentional grounding. They had ruled him down at the 27-yard line.
Nice job in coverage by Arizona. Right there as his forward progress is stopped, they ruled him down. That's why you don't have the intentional grounding. But Arizona did a really good job with that empty formation, having the coverage, and Tavares Jackson right there in the red zone. When nothing's there, find a receiver to throw it over his head. Don't take the sack in the red zone.
Clark Higgins with the sack, an 11-yard loss on the play.
During the play, we also had a personal foul face mask. Offense, number 86. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Heard the call from Gene Steratore. Zach Miller, the tight end, with a face mask penalty that is declined. Play back, the ball back to the 27-yard line. 2nd and 26. They have to get to the Cardinals' 1-yard line for a first down. Forsett hit as he got to the line of scrimmage. Darnell Dockett takes him down. Cardinals have really been fired up defensively.
They are controlling the line of scrimmage right there with the tight end trap play. The penetration shuts down that play. No room for Forsett.
Cardinals have been guilty of a lot of turnovers this season. However, their defense has done a great job in not giving up a lot of points off turnovers. 3 wide receivers in. Blitz coming. Jackson gets rid of it. It's up for grabs. It's intercepted. Brought back by Richard Marshall. He's got some blockers. He may have stepped out of bounds. He is down at the 30. He may have stepped out at the 38. He did. So, the teams take turns turning the ball over. The interception by Richard Marshall, and a 49-yard return.
When Tavares looks at this on film, he'll say, I can't float this ball across the middle. Gave Richard Marshall a chance to break on that football. Michael Adams did a great job of coming off the edge. You see the pressure by Michael Adams. And right there, a nice break by Richard Marshall with the floating ball of Tavares Jackson.
First interception thrown by Tavares Jackson in the last 5 games. He had gone 107 pass attempts with no interceptions coming into the game today. Here's LeRod Stevens howling on first down. He's brought down at the 35. Leroy Hill with the good tackle, a gain of 3 on the play.
What's interesting for Arizona, with Beanie Wells out all week long, Seattle had prepared for Beanie Wells trying to tackle this big running back. Now he's out, you throw in Stevens Howling, a much different back, a shiftier guy, a cut guy. And this is something that is Seattle's having to make an adjustment.
Howling stays in. Sherman is in at fullback, 2 wide receivers. Off the play fake, Skelton brought down, sacked on the play. David Hawthorne, the middle linebacker, gets in and takes him down. That's the 53rd sack given up by the Arizona Cardinals this season.
This was a simple 2-back play action scheme, and I think right there Levi Brown had to bounce off of the defensive end and come back and take the linebacker. It should have been picked up. They had 7 men to protect, and it was only a 6-man blitz.
Ball back to the 41-yard line. They have to get to the 28 for a first down. 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers for Arizona on this 3rd and 13. Skelton puts it up deep and overthrows Larry Fitzgerald. He had a step on Richard Sherman, the rookie cornerback.
Here's the matchup today, Larry Fitzgerald against Richard Sherman or Brendan Browner. Larry does a nice job of stacking Richard Sherman to where he now has the position. John Skelton's going to look at this throw and say, I knew where I was going with the football. I must put more air on it for Larry to be able to run up under the football.
And that's what we talked about, the inconsistency of John Skelton.
And that comes from repetition. That type of throw, understanding what type of throw you need to have, not being a thrower but a passer, there's certainly a difference.
Dave Zastudil with the high end-over-end punt. Leon Washington waves for a fair catch at the 11-yard line. John Skelton is taking some hits in this game, like that one. Cardinals lead 7-3. Seahawks start from the 12-yard line with 2 tight ends. Neither team doing anything off the turnovers. Jackson throws short, and slipping coming out of the backfield is Marshawn Lynch. Got a couple of slips on the grass. These are the grass on trays that come in and out. And have the tracks that lead right outside the stadium. Some key stats. Pretty close. And Arizona with a 7-3 lead on 2nd and 10. Marshawn Lynch just keeps pushing forward and churning those legs. And he is stopped at the 19-yard line. Over the last 8 games of the season, Marshawn Lynch has been the leading rusher in the NFL with 855 yards coming into this game today.
And it's yards after contact. Watch Marshawn Lynch here deliver the blow to Darnell Dockett and then keeps his feet moving, spins out. You have to gang tackle this guy. That's why their running game has been so successful. Offensive line covering up the first level. Marshawn Lynch working his magic, breaking tackles.
3rd and 3. Cardinals defense has been solid on 3rd downs this season. Justin Forsett in the backfield. Here's Forsett, and he stopped as he got to the 20-yard line, short of the first down. Needed 3, gain 1. And again, strong play. Darnell Dockett and Paris Lennon leading the way. And we mentioned Paris Lennon earlier in the game. He has gone over 100 tackles this season. He's He's had an active first half with 5 tackles. Patrick Peterson is back at his 30-yard line. 4 punt returns for touchdowns this season, all of them 80 yards or more. Ryan, long kick. Peterson at the 27, avoids 1 man. Here comes Peterson. This could be it. He's tripped up. The punter, John Ryan, tripped him up. The record was staring right at him.
Wow, Sam, I thought we had it here. We were going to see the record. Watch his explosion through the hole. And he kind of gets ahead of himself right there. Starts to stumble, and then the punter is able to take him down.
He knew it. He was this close. It might have been a touchdown. It was a 43-yard return for Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson, boy, he is electric. 42-yard return officially, and he has set a return yardage, punt return yardage rookie record. He's still shaking his head. He knew he had a touchdown right there. Cardinals at the Seattle 31-yard line. Skelton on first down, throwing and completing to Andre Roberts. Gets to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. There's the punter, John Ryan, who saved a touchdown. And Patrick Peterson, 695 punt return yards this season, surpasses the record previously held by Lewis Lips. 2nd and 4. LeRod Stevens howling, trying to take it outside. Seahawks all over it. Dropped him for a 2-yard loss. Red Bryant leading the way. Red Bryant has had an outstanding season. The winner of the Steve Largent Award, the dedication, and what it means to be a Seattle Seahawk, and voted by his teammates. That was a prideful moment when he got that award last week. Had a good year. 3 wide receivers. Rob Hausler, the tight end, is in. And Chester Taylor in the backfield. Have to get to the 21 for a first down. They pick up the blitz. Skelton outside. Andre Roberts out of bounds at the 20. Was hit out of bounds. They'll tack on some yardage. Brandon Browner, the cornerback, with a hit on Andre Roberts out of bounds. To first down and add some more yardage.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 39. Penalties half the distance to the goal. First down.
Here's where John Skelton's getting better. He has a simple out route, but he follows through. He makes the simple throw. Being able to locate the receiver. It looks like an easy throw, and sometimes he said, I've been getting in trouble because I haven't been finishing my throws. Right there, he pulls it down nicely with his follow-through. First down for Arizona.
First and goal just inside the 10. Larry Fitzgerald motions. And the catch by Fitzgerald. Stays on his feet, spins down to the 8-yard line. Got a yard and a half on the play. David Hawthorne brought it down, but Larry Fitzgerald continues his pass-catching streak, which is well over 100. That's 117 consecutive games in which Larry Fitzgerald has caught a pass. Another outstanding season for the man heading to the Pro Bowl. 2nd and goal for Arizona at the 8-yard line. Chester Taylor in the backfield. 2 tight ends, Heap and King to the left. Taylor. And a good play by Hawthorne. Good penetration by David Hawthorne. He's had a good season. With all the injuries that Seattle has had on defense, they've done well defensively with the young cornerback stepping up, but the steady men have been those linebackers, Hawthorne and Leroy Hill. 16 players on IR for Pete Carroll and some top players. Marcus Trufant starting cornerback went down. Key players on offense as well. On 3rd and goal, Skelton in trouble. Gets away and throws for the corner, incomplete. At the last minute, he tried to hit Chester Taylor. And a late flag. Uh-oh. Now it's getting nasty out there. Well, looks like this game has some meaning to the guys. I think Anthony Hargrove was the man involved for Seattle.
Ken Wisenhunt talking with Levi Brown. Levi Brown was taking up for his quarterback because of what Chris Clemens did from Seattle.
We'll check out the flag.
After the play, personal foul, offense, number 75, unnecessary roughness. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it'll be 4th down.
All right, it's on Levi Brown.
I see there, Chris
okay.
Clemens. John Skelton gets him a little kick in there. Chris Clemens reacts, but who always gets the penalty? The second guy to react. That's always the case. Levi Brown.
Levi Brown steps in. 15-yard penalty sits Arizona back to the 23. We'll have a field goal try of 41 yards for Jay Feely. Dave Zastudil the holder. Mike Leach the long snapper. And it's right through. Feely puts 3 on the board. Points off turnover for Arizona, and they now lead 10-3. Neither of these teams have been good possession-type teams during the season. Right now, Seattle the edge in time of possession. The 3 points came after the great punt return by Patrick Peterson, so it wasn't points off turnover. Tavares Jackson awaiting the chance to get back on. Jay Feely will kick it off. Leon Washington is deep for the Seahawks. Line drive kick through the end zone. And the Seahawks will start from the 20. And let's get an update for that. Let's go back to the studio. Kurt Menefee standing by. Kurt.
A Bengals win, they clinch a wild card spot. A Ravens win, they clinch the 2nd seed. Advantage Ravens right now. Ray Rice 70 yards on the touchdown run. Baltimore up 10-3, approaching the 2-minute warning in the first half. Sam and Chad.
Thanks, Kurt. Ravens looking to clinch the division and the #1 seed in a first-round bye. How about the Green Bay Packers beating Detroit 45-41 and going 15-1 this season? Jackson in trouble. That's an incomplete pass as he tried to get it to Zach Miller. Pressure on the play from Darrell Washington, who's been very, very active in that game in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers inactive. And Matt Flynn passes for 480 yards.
Unbelievable. You know what, Sam? Matt Hasselbeck started there before he had the starting job in Seattle. Brian Griese started there as a backup, I'm saying, behind Brett Favre. So you see Matt Flynn getting his opportunity as a backup to show what he can do.
2 tight ends in. Jackson gets time, nobody open. Throws outside and completes it to Golden Tate. Or rather to Dion Butler. And Butler is knocked out of bounds up at the 45. There's a flag back at the 15-yard line.
Here's Tavares again, checking the front side and then rifling that ball again to the backside.
The holding penalty called on Seattle wipes out the play and brings the ball back to the 10-yard line.
Some of the things that kept Seattle from winning football games early with that 2-6 start, penalties and turnovers, you're seeing that in the first half today.
Yes. They've been good in not turning the ball over during this recent stretch. From the 10, off the play fake, Jackson waits and throws. Doug Baldwin with a catch up at the 30-yard line. That's good for the first down. Nice catch. Baldwin has been a tremendous story. Undrafted player, rookie out of Stanford.
Simple scissors route by Seattle. Obamanu running the post. Baldwin coming out on the deep out route. Tavares Jackson does a nice job of letting Baldwin clear Michael Adams and then making the completion for the first down.
Ricardo Lockett is in at wide receiver, third wide receiver. Jackson going back, they stopped the play. Looks like it's against Seattle. Yeah, now Seattle's saying it's against Arizona. Gene Steratore calling the other official in.
It's going to be interesting to see, is it Giacomini or is it the inside defensive tackle for Arizona with encroachment?
It's a long discussion here. There's some confusion as to the call.
There's Giacomini right there, but you see the movement there.
It's a false start. Offense number 68. It is not a neutral zone infraction, as the defense was not in the neutral zone when the offensive player 68 false started. It's a 5-yard penalty against Seattle. First down.
Ball back to the 26, a 1st and 15 on the false start on Breno Giacomini. 6 penalties on Seattle thus far in the first half. Marshawn Lynch hit and stopped. Vonnie Holiday, the 14-year veteran. He's had a couple of good plays, your former teammate. We're coming to the 2-minute warning. Arizona Cardinals defense has done a good job and did it right there on Marshawn Lynch. Some mistakes have crept into the Seattle game. Have to concern Pete Carroll. Justin Forsett in the backfield on second down. That pass low but caught. Good catch by Doug Baldwin, his 3rd of the game, 51 on the season for the undrafted rookie free agent out of Stanford, who's really stepped up big with the injuries in the second half to Mike Williams and Sidney Rice. Baldwin has become the reliable receiver.
Made an immediate impact from day 1 of training camp.
On third down, Jackson gets time. Out of the backfield, Justin Forsett stopped short of the first down. Had to get to the 41, stopped at the 36-yard line. Darrell Washington with another tackle.
Final charge timeout. Arizona, a 30-second timeout.
Cardinals want to preserve time with a chance to get the ball back. As always, the Visa Halftime Report is coming up. With that, we'll find out what's going on during the Visa Halftime Report. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, we'll have scores and highlights from a busy New Year's Day in the NFL, including Matt Flynn doing something that neither Rodgers nor Favre ever did. And the number 2 seed is all set in the NFC. That's all coming up on the Visa Halftime.
Thanks, Kurt. Happy New Year, everyone. Pete Carroll finishing up his 2nd year as head coach in Seattle. Last year making the playoffs at 7-9. Patrick Peterson is back deep. This year, San Francisco winning the division 13-3. John Ryan, high punt. Peterson waits for a fair catch. He saw Byron Maxwell right in his face. Can't return this one. Headlines from the first games, early games. Drew Brees, as New Orleans goes 13-3, they'll be the number 3 seed. What a great game for Drew Brees, 5 touchdowns. Matt Flynn, 6 touchdown passes, 480 yards with Aaron Rodgers resting. Green Bay wins 45-41. Marcus Colston, 7 catches from Drew Brees in that game. New Orleans the number 3 seed, Green Bay number 1, San Francisco number 2. Number 4 will be decided tonight in the game between the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Skelton rushed, down he goes. Second sack of the game, and the former Arizona Cardinal, Alan Branch. He was a second-round draft pick in 2007, played 4 years with Arizona. He gets the sack.
A 30-second timeout.
And the Seahawks call a timeout, thinking they might be able to get the ball back in good field position.
And this is time management. They get the sack, they call timeout. The Cardinals, on the other hand, being second and long, will probably try to run the ball or have some type of quick game, try to keep the clock moving and force Seattle to use its timeouts.
Mike Miller, the offensive coordinator, and the head coach, Ken Wisenhunt. Both these teams feel a win will be important in this last game, even though you end up at 8-8. Not where you want to be, but certainly as a launch point into the offseason and looking towards next season. Rob Hausler, the tight end, with a catch out of bounds up at the 18-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Cardinals.
And there was the quick throw from John Skelton. What you would like Rob Hausler to do would be stay in bounds there, so Seattle would be forced to use a second timeout. Now, if they get a 3rd down stop, they still have 2 timeouts or possibly 1 if they have to use their second one here on 3rd down.
4 wide receivers in the game for Arizona. Skelton to Chester Taylor. And he is pulled down by Chris Clemens at the 23. And a timeout for Seattle as they'll get the ball back now. 55 seconds remaining in the first half. Cardinals forced to punt. And Pete Carroll happy with his defense. An awful start to the season. Injuries to the offensive line. Injuries to his starting quarterback, Tavares Jackson. But Jackson started to get healthy in the second half. And the Seahawks had a strong run.
And they like Jackson's progression in this offense. What Pete Carroll said he wanted to see was have some last-minute drives. That's the next thing for his offense. Here's another opportunity, a last-minute drive to try to put points on the board.
Dave Zastadil. Leon Washington lets his teammate catch it. That's Golden Tate. Washington stepped up and Golden Tate tried to return it. And it was well covered by the Arizona Cardinals. See the numbers at the midway point. These teams were both 2-6. With Arizona having won game 8. And then since then, over the last 7 games, both 5-2 with strong defensive play by both teams.
Exactly. Seattle cleaned up its offensive production and had consistent defensive play. Arizona really cut back on its defensive schemes and then started to build from there and really saw some success.
44 seconds and 1 timeout remaining for Seattle. The pass outside. Good job by Dion Butler as he takes it and steps out of bounds. Butler with good speed. With the injuries at wide receiver, they lost a lot of size. Mike Williams and Sidney Rice, both tall receivers. Now they've got smaller receivers out there. Leon Washington in the backfield. Jackson drops it off to Washington. And Washington slips as he gets near midfield. Brought down at the 49. And Seahawks use their last timeout. 31 seconds remaining in the first half. And we've got the Visa halftime report coming up next. With Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Want to wish them the happiest of New Year's. And of course, they've got the playoffs to look forward to next week. Fox will have a wild card game next Sunday. Hope you tune into that as our playoff coverage begins. Hope you've enjoyed the NFL on Fox. It's been a terrific season, and it's gone too fast, Chad.
Way too fast. I cannot believe this is week 17.
Second down. Quick outside to Golden Tate, and a good job by A.J. Jefferson. He fought off the block of Zach Miller and made a good tackle. Cardinals are hoping that A.J. Jefferson and Patrick Peterson will be their cornerbacks for several years. Jefferson had some rough spots this season, but he's gone through a good learning process. On third down, pressure on Jackson, ball's loose. Jackson recovers. Sam Acho, the rookie linebacker out of Texas, who's really come on strong, knocked the ball loose, and the first half has come to an end. Arizona Cardinals, strong defensive play. They pressured the quarterback, they've gotten to him, and at halftime, it's the Cardinals 10, the Seahawks 3. Let's go to the studio to Kurt Menefee. We are back in Glendale, Arizona, home of the Arizona Cardinals, who lead 10-3, moments away from the start of the second half. Sam Rosen along with Chad Pennington. And for Arizona, they did some good things in the first half. Their defense was strong, Chad.
Well, they did exactly what they wanted to do, Sam. Start fast offensively. Got the big touchdown by Chester Taylor along with the big-time run by Stevens Howling. Defensively, limit Lynch. That's exactly what they did. 8 carries, 32 yards. That's the recipe for success for Arizona.
Take a look at some of these plays. There's that run for Rod Stevens Howling with no Beanie Wells, 39-yard run.
That's what's impressive. Anthony Sherman had a great block there, and then Chester Taylor gets it over the end zone, the end line. You have the interception by Richard Marshall, which was a big turning point in the second quarter, and run defense has been stout, being able to get the penetration, gain tackle the running backs of Seattle.
The first half numbers, see the rushing yards are pretty close, passing yards pretty close, everything pretty close. But Pete Carroll's team unable to get the ball into the end zone. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Cardinals receive the kickoff to start the second half. That's A.J. Jefferson deep. Stephen Hauschka will kick it off. Cardinals have been a strong finishing team. Would like to do that and be able to prevail to go 8-8 on the season. Hauschka with the good leg. A.J. Jefferson brings it out from 7 yards deep. Finds an opening. Nice return by A.J. Jefferson. Ball popped loose, but after he was down, as he gets it back to the 29. Now let's go down to the field, see what's going on with Jody Jackson. Jody.
Well, Sam, I asked Pete Carroll about his decision to go no-huddle, up-tempo offense early in this game. He said that will change here in the second half. We're going to try to run it right at him. As far as some mistakes and penalties, he was disappointed with that here in the first half, but mainly he stressed they have to do a better job at the line of scrimmage, and that means a better job in the run game. As for Ken Wisenhunt, he was happy with the good start, a first-quarter touchdown. They had opportunities, more of them, though, that he feels they did not take advantage of, and he liked the way the defense responded after the turnover.
Thanks, Jody. Rod Stevens Howling tries to get outside. Red Bryant slowed him down, and he's brought down. No gain on the play. Red Bryant getting credit for the tackle. John Skelton, one good thing he did in the first half, didn't turn the ball over. 8 for 14, 80 yards, and of course that alert pass, 22 yards to Todd Heap, that set up the touchdown.
He was very efficient with his pocket movement. When the pocket broke down, he was able to get outside and make some plays with his feet and also with his arm.
3 wide receivers, split the tight end as well. Everybody out. Skelton steps up and gets a couple of yards on the run. Chris Clemens and David Hawthorne combining on the tackle. Give him 3 yards on the play, brings up a 3rd and 7. Good pressure that time. Clemens has had a good year with 11 sacks.
Be interesting to see if Clemens and Red Bryant start to get pressure. Will Arizona start to use a running back to chip these guys, because protection is a premium here in the second half.
Chester Taylor in the backfield. Rob Hausler, the tight end, splits off. And 3 wide receivers. Skelton, they've got pressure on him. And he gets away. Skelton for a first down. The big man with good strength. Roy Lewis had a piece of him. He broke the tackle and got a first down. Gain of 9 on the play.
And you see the athleticism by John Skelton. He's going to get a Mike nickel wheel blitz with 57 Hawthorne, 34 Lewis. Breaks the tackle of Lewis and gets the first down. Really good awareness by Skelton, making sure that he gets past the first down mark before he slides.
First down up at the 41-yard line. And some pressure on John Skelton. He's been sacked a couple of times in the game off the play fake. Wanted to go deep. More pressure. He gets rid of it and finds Larry Fitzgerald. No catch. That was Skelton throwing while he was running to his left. And there was good pressure from Brandon Mebane, the defensive tackle.
Seattle starting to get some edge pressure. Skelton moving around in the pocket. You may see Arizona start to use the quick game to get the ball out a little bit quicker, because Seattle is really starting to rush the passer here on this first series of the second half.
They are coming hard, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
2nd and 10. Fitzgerald and Roberts, the wide receivers. 2 tight ends in. Excuse me, the fullback, Anthony Sherman, is in, and there's movement on the line.
Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's on Levi Brown, the left tackle. Arizona's 4th penalty of the game. Cardinals also had a rough start to the season. 1-6. And then they settled in. Their defense came on strong. Really acclimated themselves to Ray Horton, their new defensive coordinator. Chester Taylor in the backfield. On 2nd and 15, Skelton throws incomplete. Rob Hausler, normally a good pass catching tight end, seemed to turn late on the ball.
What happened was, this was a rifle shot, a missile by John Skelton. Rob Hausler running this middle read post route and just doesn't get his head around in time. You see right there, he's slow getting his head around, and the ball is on top of him before he can locate it. This is a young guy that has missed some games because of a hamstring injury, a rookie from Florida Atlantic. They really like Hausler, his ability to run and make catches in space.
A 3rd-round draft pick. On 3rd and long, Skelton gets time, and the pass incomplete. Well covered on the play. The pass intended for early Doucette. Good coverage on the play by Atari Bigby, backup safety. Former Green Bay Packer.
Watch Bigby break on the ball. He's going for the football there, Sam, so he has just as much right to that football as the receiver does. That's why there's no penalty.
Dave Zastadil. Leon Washington is deep to receive the punt. Good kick. Washington backs up to the 10-yard line, gets away from Michael Adams. Looking for some room. Flag goes down. Washington out of bounds around the 25-yard line. We'll check out the flag. 55-yard punt. Flag down at the 16-yard line.
There is no foul for a block in the back. First down, Seattle. Timeout.
Pick up the flag. Good return on the play by Leon Washington. And the Seahawks will start from the 26-yard line. Seahawks first possession of the second half. Tavares Jackson handing to Marshawn Lynch. And Lynch slicing through a nice hole on the left side. Pickup of 6 on the play, and the flags fly. Check that out.
Right from the start, Sam, Seattle comes out in an unbalanced line. That's exactly what Jody talked about. Pete Carroll said, we're going to run this football. They come out with an unbalanced line and try to shove it down the Cardinals' throat.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both personal fouls. Personal foul defense number 94 is declined. Also personal foul defense number 51. We accept one of the 2 fouls, 15 yards automatic, first down.
Sam Acho and Paris Lennon both committing personal fouls. One accepted for 15 yards. gives the Seahawks the ball up at the 47-yard line. Marshawn Lynch had 8 carries, 32 yards in the first half. Michael Robinson in at fullback. Lynch getting a block from Robinson, gets across midfield and was down and kept on going, and boy, whistles were blowing and Lynch got up and wanted to go at somebody. There's Pro Bowler Adrian Wilson there, number 24.
And you think 8-8 doesn't matter to these two teams?
They're into it. Marshawn Lynch, who everybody talks about what a great personality he has in the locker room, fun guy to be around, wore the Skittles shoes, got fined for it. Now a little hurry-up offense for Seattle. Second down at the Arizona 48. Leon Washington carries. And there's a good hole. Washington, he might go all the way. Washington dives for the corner. The official was taken out. The signal is touchdown. Patrick Peterson tried to cut off Leon Washington, but Washington dove for the pylon and made it. 48-yard run.
And Washington, a dynamic kick returner, but watch him with the tackle trap. Puts his foot in the ground and heads north and south, then makes a cut to the right-hand side, and off to the races Leon Washington goes. Stretches over the goal line. What a great run by Leon Washington.
That's a season-long run for Leon Washington, his first rushing touchdown of the season. The 15th rushing touchdown for the Seahawks, 12 of them by Marshawn Lynch. Hauschka's extra point is right through, and the Seahawks have tied the game. They came out running the football as Jody said they would, and Leon Washington cashed it in with a 48-yard run.
Back in Glendale, Arizona, a tie football game between the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Watch Leon Washington here put his left foot in the ground right there. Gets north and south. That's the key to the touchdown run. And now he's got the speed and the breakaway speed to make it to the end zone. But that initial cut, he's very definitive as a runner. That was the key to that touchdown run.
Longest run by the Seahawks this year. Previous long was by Marshawn Lynch of 47. Hauschka's kick deep in the end zone and will be down by A.J. Jefferson. But the Seattle Seahawks find their offensive game on the ground with Leon Washington diving for the pylon and making it in. When you score a touchdown, you get to smile and talk about it on the bench with the lead running back, Marshawn Lynch. Leon Washington scoring the touchdown with a 48-yard run. Cardinals' 8th possession of the game, the 5th time they've started from the 20 or worse in the game. Skelton off the play fake, has time. Nobody open. Now he tries. Larry Fitzgerald hit hard by Leroy Hill and kept on going. Ball came loose, went out of bounds. 9-yard pickup on the play. Pete Carroll talking to the official, upset about something.
Great form tackle, just didn't wrap up by Leroy Hill. And that shows you the strength of Larry Fitzgerald and his physicality, being able to run with the football and shed that tackler.
Rod Stevens howling with Anthony Sherman, the fullback. It's Sherman, the fullback, carrying. He's got a first down. Get coverage of every NFL game with NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL now. Anthony Sherman picking up the first down with his first carry of the season. How about that? A little reward for doing all the hard work. The rookie fullback and a 3-yard pickup. 2 tight ends in for the Cardinals from the 32. Skelton gets time. Good protection. What a catch by Fitzgerald. One-handed grab by the All-Pro. who's going to the Pro Bowl again this year.
It started with the blitz pickup on the left-hand side. Watch Levi Brown here pick up Earl Thomas on the safety blitz. Gives John Skelton enough time, and look at the catch by Larry Fitzgerald. This guy, his mentality permeates this team, Ken Wisenhunt said, and it's because he makes plays like that, but it starts in practice. On Friday, Sam, he made a similar catch down the sideline. You would think on a Friday practice, not too much going on, but he's still hustling, working on his game.
5 consecutive seasons, over 1,000 yards and over 70 catches. That pass is complete to Larry Fitzgerald. Well, when it gets into important times, you go to the important man. 13-yard pickup. It's what they did last week when they were down 23-0 in Cincinnati.
Start to get the ball to your playmakers. A simple comeback route on Richard Sherman. Larry comes back and makes the catch, doesn't let this ball get into his body, makes it with his hands.
And you saw the ball touch the ground, but he had possession and control.
Exactly.
At the 33, Skelton wanted to go deep, goes short instead, and completes it to the fullback, Anthony Sherman. And Sherman is down to the 22, and that's a first down.
And this may not seem like anything big, but what's the development of John Skelton here? He's looking, he looks left, he checks right, and at the last second he remembers, oh yeah, I have my check down. That's something that as a young quarterback, you only learn that through repetition. John Skelton using his check down once his deep receivers were covered.
Sherman's 8th catch of the season. 4 wide receivers in the game for the Cardinals, 3 to the right. With a delayed handoff to Chester Taylor. A nice gain inside the 15. Cardinals moving the ball well. Started with the passing of John Skelton to Larry Fitzgerald. This drive started at the 20. Cardinals down to the Seattle 15-yard line. And Carroll looking a little nervous on the sideline. 2nd and 3. Skelton outside to the tight end Jeff King. Bounces off one man, Richard Sherman, the cornerback, and gets down to the 12, very close to the first down. There's Richard Sherman, rookie out of Stanford, a 5th-round draft pick, who's actually the 3rd starting left cornerback.
It's pretty amazing what Seattle has gone through with defensive back injuries, but Sherman and Browner have stepped up, and these guys are the real deal. I mean, 6'3", 6'4", as a quarterback, I used to like to go against the smaller corners. When you go against a big corner, you have no room for error. You can't leave the ball inside on out-breaking routes. On deep balls, you can't be short, because with their length of their arms and being able to recover, it really presents a big-time challenge.
Just a few chain lengths short of the first down. 3rd and inches for the Cardinals down at the 12-yard line. And I think one of the things when you look at the Seattle team, it's a young, very young team.
To 29 seconds. 29 seconds on the play clock.
We got to put 3 seconds back on the play clock, and they do. It's a young football team that, with the adversity that they face this year, should really gain a lot by it for next season.
Both sides of the ball averaging around 26 years old. The future bodes well for the Seahawks.
Here's 3rd and inches with LaRod Stevens, Howling, and Anthony Sherman in the backfield. Skelton stops and throws, completes, and it is a touchdown for Todd Heap. They needed inches, they got a touchdown.
Great call by Mike Miller. He's going to fake the football to Chester Taylor. Chester Taylor is his #1 option. He's not there. An unbelievable awareness by Skelton with Red Bryant in his face to be able to find his #2 receiver, Todd Heap, for the touchdown.
Todd Heap's first touchdown of the season. He's had a lot of injuries. They're waiting for the look upstairs.
Some of these plays, Sam, by Skelton remind you of a young Ben Roethlisberger, being able to make some things happen with his feet, throwing the ball down the field.
Interesting comparison. Jay Feely for the extra point. Cardinals have regained the lead. It's 17-10. John Skelton with the touchdown pass. On a 3rd and inches play, he found Todd Heap, who pulled it into the end zone. It's been an injury-filled season for Todd Heap, but that one felt awfully good. His first touchdown of the season, 13 yards, completes an 8-play, 80-yard drive. And look at that. John Skelton 6 for 6 on that drive. John Skelton with his 11th touchdown pass of the season. That kick deep into the end zone. Leon Washington downs it. Arizona Cardinals with a 17-10 lead. Here comes Tavares Jackson to try and get the Seahawks back. On that last possession, Larry Fitzgerald caught 3 passes, including this one, and he took some hard hits. Leroy Hill with that hit on Fitzgerald. They were checking out Larry on the sideline moments ago.
And it may not seem like a big thing, but a hit like that where your Pro Bowl receiver takes that hit and keeps on churning, that energizes an offense, and that was a key play in that drive.
9th possession for the Seahawks in the game. 6th time they've started from the 20 or worse. And Obamano with a catch on the little slant gets him 9 yards. Let's get an update for that to the studio to Kurt Menefee.
AFC North and number 2 seed still up for grabs. Pittsburgh with a chance to get it. Joshua Redmond gives them the lead over Cleveland, but they also need Baltimore to lose in order for that to happen. Here's Bernard Scott of Cincinnati with a 25-yard score. Still, though, the Ravens lead at 17-10. If everything stays the same, Baltimore's the number 2 seed. Sam and Chad?
That's correct. Thank you, Kurt. First down, Marshawn Lynch carrying up to the 34-yard line. New England with a 49-21 win against Buffalo has clinched the number 1 seed overall in the AFC. And now it's between Baltimore and Pittsburgh for number 2. Lynch and Robinson in the backfield. So the numbers on Marshawn Lynch. Carrying, cut it back, nice run, trying to break a tackle and finally dragged down. That's a terrific effort by Rashad Johnson. He wouldn't let go, and that was a tough job to bring him down, but a good run by Marshawn Lynch, 18 yards.
And it starts with the jump cut right there. He jumps, makes the cut back, and then hits it north and south. And here's the strength, here's the intensity, the tenacity that Marshawn Lynch runs with. And you're right, Sam, Rashad Johnson did a nice job of hanging on. Jump backside right there. It's called a jump cut. And then he gets north and south. This guy is phenomenal at keeping his hips and his shoulders square, being able to make these runs.
Now, Clark Hagan's following in, the second man in on the tackle, kind of drove Marshawn Lynch into the ground. And Marshawn getting up slowly and walking slowly across field to the Seahawks sideline.
Lynch had 8 carries for 32 yards in the first half, and now with just 4 carries, he's doubled that production with 66 yards.
And Pete Carroll checking out his number 1 running back. Leon Washington, who had the 48-yard touchdown run earlier in the 3rd quarter, is in at running back. First down, Seahawks in Cardinals territory. Washington tripped up, falls forward to the 43-yard line. Michael Adams in on the tackle. Give Washington 5 yards on the carry. Leon Washington, who started his career with the Jets, was an excellent return man and 3rd down back, and then broke his leg. Serious injury.
Had a nasty injury out in Oakland when he was with the Jets, but he has bounced back, and he's such a dynamic returner. Gives him so many options from the backfield as well.
Marshawn Lynch is back in at running back. Off the play fake. Jackson with time. Throws and completes it to Obamano. Inside the 25, a first down close to the 23-yard line. Good throw by Tavares Jackson.
A nice read right here. Obamanu running this in route. You had Lockett on a post over the top. This is Tavares Jackson's #2 read. The free safety stays deep on the post. He's able to come back on the in route and hit Obamanu for the first down.
Tavares Jackson 16 for 22, 133 yards, 1 interception. Richard Lockett is in at wide receiver. 3 wide receivers in the game for Seattle. Marshawn Lynch carrying. And he fights his way down to the 20 for a hard 3 yards. The Seahawks answering right back after the Cardinals regain the lead. Marshawn Lynch has had 6 100-yard rushing games in the last 8 for Seattle. And has 69 yards in this game. Two tight ends to the right. Jackson being rushed, completes it inside the 10, and down to the 6-yard line goes Cameron Mora. One of those tight ends we talked about. Jackson took a hit at the end of the play, but he found Cameron Mora.
And here's the difference in the second half. As he's getting pressure, he's finding his short throw to be able to get rid of this football and not take the sack. Finds Mora on the shallow cross route. That was a #2 or #3 option. Nice job by Jackson staying in the pocket, taking the hit, and delivering the football.
1st and goal, Seattle at the Cardinals 6-yard line. They split Marshawn Lynch way out to the right. 2 tight ends to the right. End around, and Golden Tate is brought down. Flag on the play. Dockett made the tackle. But was it too high? We'll see. Might have been a face mask.
Legal use of hands. Hands in the face. Defense. Number 76. The run ended behind the line of scrimmage. The foul also occurred behind the line of scrimmage. The enforcement will be from the spot of the foul, which was the 11-yard line, to the 6-yard line. Automatic first down.
Well, the Cardinals don't have the 76 on defense.
Right there on Max Unger, right there, is that's 79, David Carter.
Okay. The nose tackle, David Carter, number 79, the man who committed the foul. It's a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line for Seattle. Leon Washington in at running back. 3 wide receivers. Blitz coming. Washington goes down, and then he blitzed by Adrian Wilson, and he made the stop. Great play by the Pro Bowler Adrian Wilson.
And that's defensive coordinator Ray Horton watching their red zone period on Friday. He was going to bring pressure inside the 10-yard line. Right there, Adrian Wilson not accounted for. Leon Washington has nowhere to go.
If anyone struggled with trying to learn a new defense early in the season, it was Adrian Wilson, but he's really come on and will start in the Pro Bowl. 2nd and goal. 3 tight ends in. Jackson rolling, completes to Marshawn Lynch. Stopped at the 5. 4 players there, and 3 of them take Lynch out of bounds.
Similar play that Arizona had with Chester Taylor out in the flat. Now Marshawn Lynch out in the flat. Very disciplined defense by Arizona, gang tackling Marshawn Lynch. And going back to Adrian Wilson, remember he had the bicep injury during training camp, wasn't able to get the reps with the new defense. It was a learning process for him. Now he's starting to come into his own. He's really consistent. He's a consistent defensive player. That's why he's a Pro Bowler.
3rd and goal at the 6. Empty
Quarterback
backfield.
draw, Sam. Quarterback draw.
Jackson throws it, knocked away. Tried to get it to Zach Miller, and Paris Lennon broke it up. Miller got up looking for a flag, didn't get one.
And the reason I said that is look at the space in the middle of the field. If Jackson doesn't like the throw to Miller, he has a lot of space to run the football into the end zone because the Cardinals used all 7 defenders in the secondary to cover the empty formation.
Field goal try coming up for Seattle, 24 yards. The holder, John Ryan. Long snapper, Clint Gresham. And Hauschka with a field goal try. It's blocked! The Cardinals do it again! Patrick Peterson with the block. Nobody does it better than the Arizona Cardinals.
Unbelievable play. Look at him in a 4-point stance. Coming off the edge. He had a blocked field goal against San Francisco at Candlestick. Comes off the edge untouched. Unbelievable speed. Gets his hands on the football. It's just a hustle play.
The field goal is no good because the ball did not cross the previous spot. After the field goal unsuccessful, the ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. First down, Arizona.
Explained well by Gene Steratore. 5 blocked field goal tries by the Arizona Cardinals this season. 3 of them by Calais Campbell, 2 by Patrick Peterson.
And it just means so much when your Pro Bowl players make hustle plays like that. You have Fitzgerald making a great play, a physical play when he got hit, doesn't lose his balance. Peterson comes back. He's already had a great return. Now he blocks the field goal. That means a lot to your team.
Larry Fitzgerald is in at wide receiver as the Cardinals start from the 20. Lerod Stevens howling the running back. Off the play fake, Skelton steps up, throwing deep for Fitzgerald. And it's batted away. Great coverage by Brandon Browner, number 39, who is a Pro Bowl first alternate. With the excellent play that he's had, that's that big cornerback.
And here's the length. Watch Browner use his length with his arms and go up and almost make the interception. Earl Thomas coming over with the help. But that's why it's so hard to throw against these big corners. They can recover with their arms even when they get beat with their legs.
2nd and 10. Andre Roberts motions. Lerod Stevens howling, cutting it back. Not much running room. He got a yard on the play. Chris Clemens took him down. We've come to the end of the 3rd quarter. The Cardinals maintain the lead with the blocked field goal. Back in Glendale, Arizona, Sam Rosen, Chad Pennington, Jody Jackson wishing you a happy new year. The final game of the regular season. Fox's playoff coverage next Sunday with a wild card game. Hope you'll tune in. You'll enjoy it. It's been a great regular season, and the playoffs should be spectacular. 3rd and 9. Skelton out of the shotgun. Pressure. Throwing to Larry Fitzgerald. He's still going. Picks up a couple of blocks. Out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. At the Seattle 38 and a flag as Fitzgerald got knocked down out of bounds. Cam Chancellor, the safety, had a chance to bring him down. Fitzgerald broke that tackle. 41-yard gain.
And it starts with the protection pickup right here. Chester Taylor coming over, picking up Roy Lewis on the blitz. John Skelton hanging in the pocket, finding Larry Fitzgerald for the big play and first down.
Officially 42 yards, and Larry Fitzgerald has had 8 receptions of 40 yards or more this season. And a lot of it is him after the catch. He is spectacular. Gene Steratore trying to sort out the fouls here. Now goes over and talks to Ken Wisenhunt as to whether, let's see.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense. Number 85 for a hit out of bounds.
Oh.
It will be a 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10 Arizona.
It's an early Doucette, so a bad foul by the Cardinals.
Well, it's always the second guy who gets caught. You're going to see Doucette right here get hit behind the play. He gets up and reacts. He gets the penalty called on him.
They said upset with getting knocked down, retaliated. He's called, and the ball is back to the Arizona 47-yard line, but it is a first down. Calais Campbell heading to the locker room and limping. He's got his left shoe off. Rod Stevens howling and Anthony Sherman in the backfield. They go to the end around. Andre Roberts. Good speed, gets to the outside, and he gets knocked down out of bounds by Cam Chancellor. And it looks like a penalty is coming up. Good speed by Andre Roberts turning the corner.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 25. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
They call it on Richard Sherman.
Well, and both teams must settle themselves down and not have these costly penalties. It's a tough play. It's a bang-bang play, but Roberts is definitely out of bounds, both feet out of bounds when Sherman makes the hit.
So the penalty yardage comes back.
Are you sure these
Arizona's
two teams are 7 and 8? I don't know. These guys are fired up. They're playing with intensity. It's fun to watch. This is a really good football game.
Chester Taylor in the backfield. First down at the Seattle 30-yard line. 3 wide receivers in for the Cardinals. Skelton under pressure, got it to Andre Roberts, and a helmet popper of a hit by David Hawthorne, the middle linebacker. Roberts is okay. Need to tighten that chin strap.
NFL football at its finest. Two teams scrapping it out, being physical. Andre Roberts, a little guy, but shows his toughness, hanging onto the football, making the catch.
Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 5. Rod Stevens howling. Looking for something. There's nothing there. Good job by the Seahawks defense, led by Leroy Hill and David Hawthorne, the 2 veteran linebackers, with an excellent job. We'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for Arizona.
Sam, what I think you're seeing today, you're seeing an Arizona team, a Seattle team that will be something to reckon with next year in the 2012 season, able to challenge San Francisco for this NFC West division.
We saw how the 49ers turned it around. They were 6-10 last season, went 13-3, and they're the number 2 seed in the NFC this season. And one of these 2 teams will be 8-8 after this game. Skelton puts it up for Fitzgerald, and it's broken up by Brandon Browner. Again, good double coverage. Browner and Thomas covering Larry Fitzgerald. Raheem Brock with pressure on John Skelton.
Skelton doing a nice job moving in the pocket. Takes a hit right there. Really a throwaway probably by Skelton, but does get lucky that Brandon Browner doesn't come up with the interception.
Jay Feely with a 43-yard field goal try out of the hold of Dave Zastadil. The kick is right through. The Cardinals add to the lead. Feely's 2nd field goal of the game. Cardinals lead the Seahawks 20-10. Arizona Cardinals have had 3 drives in the game of 8 plays or more. This one winds up with a field goal. Larry Fitzgerald has been an integral part of this second half offense. Jay Feely 2 for 2 in field goals. That's Leon Washington deep to receive for the Seahawks. And a kick through the end zone means the Seahawks will start from the 20 as they try to mount a comeback, with the Cardinals leading 20-10. Gonna get there. Keep trying. Don't give up. Don't give up the dream. Seahawks from the 20. Michael Adams in at cornerback for the Cardinals. Jackson steps up. Down the sideline, he's got Golden Tate. It's off his hands, out of bounds. Covered by Adrian Wilson. Let's check out what's going down on the sideline. Here's Jody Jackson.
Well, guys, Vonnie Holiday is in there right now for Calais Campbell. Campbell, who's been such a huge part of this Arizona defense this season, he went off the field a few minutes ago. It's a right ankle sprain, and he is questionable to return, guys.
Thank you, Jody. Sure, Calais doesn't want to end this season that way. He'll become a free agent in March. Marshawn Lynch ran into his own man as he gets up to the 24-yard line. Paris Lennon makes the stop.
No need to panic for Seattle, but certainly this third down conversion is huge in this game. Being down 10 points, they need to get something going. Try to go down and at least get a field goal to cut into this Arizona lead.
Tavares Jackson, 18 for 25, 149 yards. Jackson, they pick up the blitz. He gets rid of it to Golden Tate, and he's down short of the first down. Patrick Peterson with an outstanding tackle. Peterson was questionable all week with an Achilles injury, but he rehabbed and is ready to go, and he's played well.
Watch him look into the backfield and pick up the crossing route from Golden Tate, come in, make the tackle, keep Golden Tate from getting the first down and keeping the Seattle drive alive.
John Ryan to punt it away. Patrick Peterson, who had a 42-yard return earlier, hearing the cheers from the crowd. This is a hugely high punt. Peterson takes it on a fair catch at the 33. No way he could return that one. Ryan doing an excellent job. 39-yard punt, no return. Cardinals with a 10-point lead start from the 33-yard line with LaRod Stevens Howling, the running back. Two tight ends in, and it's Stevens Howling cutting it back nicely, slipped as he tried to make another cut, and Brandon Browner was there to bring him down. That's Kevin Cobb, who does want to end his season in street clothes and in a sweatshirt. It's been a tough one. He's had a couple of injuries, foot injury, now concussion. But there's someone who will benefit from off-season workouts with his new team after 1 year. As what we heard from coaches and going around the league is whenever there's a new system involved, the players need those OTAs. And it's intercepted! And heading for a touchdown is Richard Sherman, but he's brought down by LaRod Stevens Howling at the 12-yard line.
This is anticipation right here. Richard Sherman right there, as I mess up the screen, breaks on the ball. He's watching the footwork of John Skelton. He sees the three-step drop. Once John Skelton puts his third step in the ground, he doesn't backpedal anymore, jumps the out route, and almost takes it for a pick six.
Sherman with his fourth interception of the season. 22nd interception for the Seahawks this season. First and 10 at the 12. Marshawn Lynch and Michael Robinson in the backfield. Lynch, nothing there. Great job up front again by the Arizona Cardinals, led by Clark Higgins, number 53. The entire front of the Cardinals has had a strong game.
And it's about penetration with this zone scheme. You've got to get penetration. You've got to carry these zone blocks out and not allow Marshawn Lynch to pick his hole, pick and choose his hole. The Cardinals have done a really good job of forcing him and gang tackling. That's what they've done the best job of, gang tackling Marshawn Lynch.
Second and 11 from the 13. Two tight ends in. Lynch goes in motion. Jackson being rushed, puts it up, off the hands, incomplete. Intended for Cameron Mora, one of the tight ends in the game, and Adrian Wilson covering on the play. Brings up 3rd and 11 for the Seahawks, who are 3 for 12 on third down conversions in the game. Big play here in a two-score game. Jackson being rushed. Steps up and throws. And it's almost intercepted. Darrell Washington stepped in front of the intended receiver, and he looked toward the opposite goal line, but he forgot to hold on to the football.
Man coverage, free safety in the middle of the field, and the break by Darrell Washington. He was looking at the end zone all the way. Third down defense for the Cardinals has been outstanding. 32.4% this season. That's really where they've made a big-time improvement.
Stephen Hauschka will attempt a 31-yard field goal out of the hold of John Ryan. Boom! Jumping across too soon was Adrian Wilson. This will not give...
Defense, number 24, unabated. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It does not give Seattle a first down. It makes it 4th and 6.
Adrian Wilson trying to get a jump.
Yeah.
He wants to get in on the action like Patrick Peterson did earlier.
Peterson's on the Arizona right side. There's a 26-yard field goal by Hauschka. This one on the way and good. So the Seahawks put 3 on the board. Darrell Washington, he almost put this game away with an interception, but it's 20-13 Arizona. Back here in Glendale, Arizona, Tavares Jackson gets 3 points on the board, wanted more, as the Seahawks got 3 points off the turnover, the interception by Richard Sherman. Hauschka with the kickoff. A.J. Jefferson returns it from 5 yards deep. Jefferson slips one man and couldn't get outside. Good job of coverage, and Atari Bigby in on the tackle. Stay with us. The coverage doesn't end with the conclusion of the game. We've got full coverage coming your way on the OT as Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy have extended highlights, interviews, and they'll check out the entire playoff picture. It's all coming up on the OT presented by Lowe's right after the game. Cardinals start from the 21-yard line. Don't forget that tackle by LaRod Stevens Howling on Richard Sherman. Sherman was heading for the end zone, and LaRod Stevens Howling took him out at the 12-yard line.
Offense number 73, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
There's LaRod Stevens Howling. He saved a touchdown, and Seattle had to settle for 3 points.
Another experience for John Skelton. How do you answer after a turnover? How do you answer after a bad read and throw? Can you answer the challenge?
3 wide receivers in. LaRod Stevens Howling in the backfield. Goes in motion. On 1st and 15, Skelton gets time. Larry Fitzgerald couldn't hold on. Brandon Browner covering. Fitzgerald wanted a flag. No call on the play. This is a good matchup.
Larry Fitzgerald right here on the inside. He's going to get up the seam, see Brandon Browner. Read 2 for 1, no threat to his outside. He breaks inside on Larry Fitzgerald, makes a nice play.
2 tight ends in. 2nd and 15 for the Cardinals. The delay, LaRod Stevens Howling. It's up to the 21. Gain of 5 on the play. We saw Kevin Cobb on the sideline. John Skelton feels with the experience that he's had this season and his record as a starter that he deserves to compete for the #1 job next season.
Well, it's actually a nice problem for Ken Wisenhunt to have. We've seen a lot of quarterback injuries. That happens every year. For a head coach to have 2 quarterbacks that can function and win games for you is extremely important.
It'll be a Real important offseason. Skelton was hit and wound up throwing it away too high for early Doucette. Good pressure that time by the Seahawks. Anthony Hargrove, Leroy Hill. Nice job up front. Seahawks defense does the job. They'll get the ball back with a chance to tie this game. And not a lot of time went off the clock. Dave Zastadil punts it away toward the sideline. Leon Washington looks from the 33. Michael Adams wraps him up and takes him down at the 39-yard line. 45-yard punt, 5-yard return. And for those of you joining us right now here in Glendale, Arizona, Sam Rosen, Chad Pennington, Jody Jackson, we welcome you, wish you a happy new year, and tell you we've got a good ball game here. Two teams 7-8, obviously not involved in the playoff run, but wanting to win to get momentum into the offseason and head towards next season. Arizona Cardinals with a 20-13 lead. Seahawks with the ball at their own 39. Tavares Jackson with time, puts it up deep, way downfield, and it is caught for a touchdown! Ricardo Lockett! Out of Fort Valley State, his first NFL touchdown.
And when they put Ricardo Lockett in the game, they're thinking speed. They're thinking down the field throws. He gets a nice matchup on Marche Green. Lockett bigger than Marche Green. Really good job of keeping his eye on the ball, tips it to himself and makes a big time play. The momentum change with that Richard Sherman interception, you could feel it. And now we're almost having a tie football game.
Longest touchdown pass of the season for Tavares Jackson and the speedy Ricardo Lockett, a track star in college. Extra point to tie it. Stephen Hauska ties the game. The Seahawks were down by 10. They've scored with their last two possessions.
Tavares Jackson wants the ball pop off his hand. Doesn't even make a good follow through because of Bonnie Holiday. Still gets the ball out there. Marche Green brought up to the active squad. They go right after him first play of this drive. Great concentration by Lockett.
Look at that catch. Look at that catch.
200-meter champion. Sam, you're talking about a track guy. This guy can flat out run.
6'2", 25-year-old, undrafted free agent out of Fort Valley State. And that's a special moment for Ricardo Lockett. Marche Green with injuries was signed off the practice squad, and he gets burned here. So now these teams are even. 20-20 is the score. The Cardinals have never trailed in the game. The 10-point lead they had was the biggest.
What they have done in these last 8 games, Sam, the Cardinals, they have finished strong. Today they get off to a fast start. Can they lean on that strong finish to finish this game?
Hauska kicking it off. A.J. Jefferson on the return. It's across the 20, brought down at the 22-yard line. And the Arizona Cardinals will go on offense. Offensively, the Cardinals have played well. Defensively, for the most part, they've done a good job, but then they had that one breakdown.
Well, here's the key. Both defenses have done a good job as of late with the 20-plus yard plays, eliminating those. But today, they've reared their ugly head again. Both offenses have done a really good job with explosive plays, pass plays, run plays. That's why it's a 20-20 game.
Now, Seattle has been good taking the ball away this season. They've had 2 takeaways, including that recent interception on John Skelton.
They are ball hawks, no doubt about it. A fumble, an interception, and they have the momentum right now.
First down carry by LeRod Stevens Howling up to the 25-yard line. Look at some of the key stats in this game. 20-plus yard plays. Seattle has had 5, Arizona 4.
Arizona has done a better job on third down, and their third down defense has been excellent. But it's those 20-plus yard plays. It really changes the whole dynamic of the game, allows your offense to breathe, and that's why it's a tie game right now.
Chester Taylor, Anthony Sherman in the backfield. Off the play fake by Skelton. Steps up, throws for Fitzgerald. Another great catch by Larry Fitzgerald. He beat the rookie Richard Sherman on the play. He gained 17. He's over 100 yards receiving in the game.
Watch the awareness by Skelton. He feels Chris Clemens coming around the edge, steps up, and then Larry Fitzgerald, look at the hands. Really great concentration with Richard Sherman draped all over him.
6 catches, 103 yards for Larry Fitzgerald. As he comes to the sideline for a breather, he's taken some hard hits in the game. Cardinals from the 43. They motion Andre Roberts, 2 tight ends in. Rod Stevens Howling is stopped as he got to the line of scrimmage. Time for an update. And for that, back to the studio to Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens look like they're about to wrap up that number 2 seed and clinch the NFC North. Ray Rice, 70-yard run earlier for a score. This a 51-yarder. They lead Cincy 24-16 right now late in the fourth quarter. Sam and Chad.
Thanks, Kurt. Ray Rice, what a big-time runner. He has developed into one of the best in the NFL.
Exactly, and he's the perfect complement to the Ravens defense. When you have an attacking style defense like the Ravens, you need to have a great running game. They have it in Ray Rice.
Fitzgerald back in the game. Skelton on second down. He pulled it down. Now he throws too high. Thought about running after he pulled it down the first time. And there's an injured Cardinal on the field. That's Chester Taylor. Joining us late, Beanie Wells inactive today with a knee problem that kept him out of the game. And LeRod Stevens Howling has done most of the running, but Chester Taylor's been in on third down plays. As they check him out on the field, will step out with 5:25 to go in the fourth quarter, and the game tied at 20. Arizona Cardinals have won 6 of their last 8, and 6 wins have come with fourth quarter comebacks. They've won 3 overtime games this season, all at home. That ties an NFL record. And they've played in 12 games decided by 7 points or fewer of their 15 games this season, and they've got another one here today. That's all even right now. Alfonso Smith in as the running back. Anthony Sherman the fullback. Skelton on third down, throwing. Fitzgerald couldn't hold on. Oh, another great effort by Fitzgerald, covered by Earl Thomas.
Really nice job by Fitzgerald here on the cover 2 corner. Actually, it's 2-man. Makes a great move on Richard Sherman and just can't come up with the catch. John Skelton trying to lay the ball outside to where the safety can't get it. I think it's a perfect throw by John Skelton. That's just a tough play. Good football play by both sides.
Fitzgerald okay. Dave Zastudil punts the ball away. Leon Washington at the 10. Avoids one man and another. And heads upfield, and then is brought down on a good tackle by O'Brien Schofield. Now the Seahawks will start from the 21-yard line. They have not led in this game. Darrell Bevel, their offensive coordinator, sends Tavares Jackson onto the field.
Tie ball game, 5 minutes left. Work the running game, the play action pass if you have it. I wouldn't be surprised later in this drive if they get a couple of first downs to go back to the 3 wide receiver sets and get those extra cornerbacks from Arizona back in the game and work those matchups.
Marshawn Lynch, the running back. 2 tight ends in. It's Lynch. Slowed down by Carter. The nose tackle. Gain of 4 on the play for Marshawn Lynch. Gives him 76 yards on 16 carries. As you look at the offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevell, his first year with the Seahawks after being in Minnesota. He grew up in this area. He's from Scottsdale. Lynch and Robinson. In the backfield, it's Lynch. And he busts through the opening, and he's got a first down. Michael Robinson is the unsung hero of this running game for the Seattle Seahawks. And Robinson, a former Penn State quarterback, has become a big-time fullback. He's the first Pro Bowl alternate at fullback.
I thought it was really neat what Pete Carroll says. He said that Robinson sees what Lynch sees, and that's so important as a fullback, being able to lead for this big-time running back, seeing the exact same thing in the hole.
First down at the 34 for the Seahawks. Lynch, the running back, carries, and he's tripped up. Nice tackle on the play by Vonnie Holliday. Vonnie Holliday playing a lot in place of the injured Calais Campbell, has played a nice game.
I played with Vonnie in Miami in 2008. He's one of those guys you can count on for leadership. You can count on for a consistent play. Calais Campbell goes out, and Vonnie has made some nice tackles on Marshawn Lynch.
Ball at the 36-yard line. 2nd and 8. Two tight ends in. It's Lynch. This time it's Leon Washington carrying. Gets across the 40. Paris Lennon in on the stop. Gain of 5 on the play. Leon Washington with 7 carries for 78 yards, including a 48-yard touchdown run. The longest touchdown run of the season for the Seahawks. Crowd gets loud on a 3rd and 3. Empty backfield. Jackson. And it's broken up. Darrell Washington stepped in front of Marshawn Lynch. Washington's had another good game.
Washington has been all over the field in pass coverage. He has the speed and the quickness. He's right there all over Marshawn Lynch. One-on-one matchup. He wins it.
And on 4th down and 3, the Seahawks line up the punt formation. John Ryan. Patrick Peterson has to watch that ball go way up in the air and wants to return it. He had waved for fair catches earlier. He had a 42-yard return in the first half, which was close to being a touchdown, but the punter, John Ryan, took him down. But Ryan has been really punting the ball high to prevent Peterson from getting the big returns.
Well, and we've done a couple of Arizona Cardinals games, and we've seen teams do different things. Angle kick to the sideline, get the ball outside of the numbers. Here with Seattle, John Ryan has done an excellent job with his hang time. That's been the key. The one time he didn't have hang time, 42 yards on the return.
Cardinals start from the 17. Chester Taylor is back in, and he's in the slot as the Cardinals go empty backfield. Everybody out. Skelton throws for Fitzgerald. He slipped. He wanted to make a cut against Richard Sherman, but he slipped and went down and didn't really have a good chance to make that catch.
Here's a teaching moment for John Skelton. This is what he said he wanted to work on. As he moves up in the pocket, get his feet set again so he can make a more accurate throw to Fitzgerald and get the first down. Fitzgerald does slip, but he's right there ready to make the throw, or the catch actually. But with Skelton's footwork, it causes him to be inaccurate.
2nd and 10. Skelton puts it up deep and overthrows Fitzgerald. In the second half, Larry Fitzgerald has been his #1 target, and Seattle has been double covering on the play. And we welcome those of you who watched the Atlanta Falcons defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 45-24. Atlanta going 10-6, getting the number 5 seed in the playoffs. Detroit the number 6 seed. And the only thing left to be decided is number 4, and that's tonight with Dallas at the New York Giants. Right here in Glendale, Arizona. Game tied at 20. 3rd and 10. The pass from Skelton to early Doucette is short of the first down. Roy Lewis with the hit. It'll bring up a timeout on the field for the 2-minute warning. In Glendale, Arizona, Dave Zastudil to punt it away. Leon Washington standing back at his 29-yard line to receive. Kick toward the near side. Washington at the 20. Looks to pick up a block. And outside, fans roar as they thought there was a block in the back. And O'Brien Schofield of Arizona thought it was, but no flag on the play. Seahawks start from the 28-yard line. Take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. The division leaders, Green Bay, San Francisco, New Orleans, have all clinched. The Giants play Dallas tonight for the NFC Eastern Division title, and the number 4 seed. Atlanta's 5, Detroit 6. That's the playoff picture with byes in the first round to Green Bay and San Francisco. And the Packers 15-1 this season. Get home field throughout. Seahawks from the 28. Justin Forsett, the running back. Quick to the outside to Ben Obamanu, who's brought down at the 26-yard line. Make it the 36-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play.
Nice job by Tavares Jackson there, Sam. They had an unbalanced line, a run look. He sees Obamanu one-on-one and hits the little quick slant.
3 wide receivers in, they hand it off. Justin Forsett spinning and staying on his feet. Nice job by Forsett. Gets up to the 49-yard line. He gained 13 on the play. And the Seahawks
30-second timeout.
Use a timeout. 2 timeouts remaining. Seahawks have never led in this game. 1:17 remaining. Stephen Hauschka, their field goal kicker, is 2 for 3 in the game. Made 2, had 1 blocked, and is 25 for 30 on the season.
Here's where time management comes in. Seattle has 2 timeouts. They want to leave 1 timeout for themselves with the field goal. We'll see how they manage that second timeout. When do they use it with 1:17 left?
Receivers. Forsett stopped short of the line of scrimmage. Bonnie Holiday again with help from Clark Hagans. It's a loss of a yard on the play. No huddle offense for the Seahawks with a minute to go in regulation time. Ricardo Lockett in at wide receiver out to the left.
Jackson checking to a pass play here, Sam. He sees that Arizona is going to go to a free safety defense, and obviously I'm wrong.
Forsett with a carry for a couple of yards into Cardinals territory to the 49-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. And a timeout.
Seattle.
Why do you think he checked to a pass?
Well, because the free safety was coming down in the box. So what actually happened, he had a weak side run on, and when the free safety came down weak side, he knew that that guy wouldn't be blocked. He changed it to a strong side run. That's your other option. If you don't want to throw the football because there's too many in the box, then you run it to the tight end side where you have better angles and better options.
Got it.
Not bad, huh?
Quarterback. You understand the game.
I just played a couple of downs, not much experience at all.
What do you think here?
Now they've got to go for the first down. The game's on the line. They have to go for the first down, pass the football.
Blitz coming. Jackson throws, and it's dropped by Obamanu. Trying to make a one-handed grab with Richard Marshall covering him. And the punting unit comes out for Seattle with 35 seconds to go.
Arizona going to bring the pressure on the edge. Tavares reads the coverage, tries to find Obamanu on the inside slant. Richard Marshall on the coverage, just can't get both hands on the football. Nice throw by Jackson, though.
John Ryan. Patrick Peterson deep at his own 10. Will he get a chance to return it? Good high punt. Peterson has to wait for a fair catch at the 9. The Cardinals have 28 seconds remaining in regulation time. Otherwise, it could be another overtime game. The Cardinals have played 3 overtime games this season, all at home, and they've won them all. Seattle Seahawks have not played an overtime game since early in the 2008 season.
This is so fitting for these two football teams. We talked about it this weekend. These two teams are on the verge of being able to challenge San Francisco for this NFC West division next year. They've got great young cores, good nucleuses around them. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens next year, and you're getting a preview right now.
And right now, the Cardinals will play for overtime. Fans don't like it, but Cardinals not taking any chances. They have been good in overtimes. In fact, 2 of their wins have come on touchdowns in overtime. The only 2 in the NFL that haven't ended in field goals have been wins by the Arizona Cardinals.
And the key there for Coach Wisenhunt was the ball is backed up inside the 10-yard line. If the Cardinals would have had the ball around the 25 or 30, take your shot, you have 3 timeouts, but no need to have a turnover or a bad play to where now Seattle gets the ball, kicks the winning field goal.
Let's give the Seahawks credit for coming back. They were down 20-10. Darrell Washington almost made an interception that might have put the game away for Arizona. He dropped that interception chance, and Seattle wound up kicking a field goal, then coming down and scoring the touchdown on the long pass to Ricardo Lockett to tie the game.
And they swung the momentum with the ball hawking style of their secondary. Richard Sherman having the big time break on the ball with the interception, get the field goal, come back, big play from Tavares Jackson to Ricardo Lockett.
Time of regular season, the rules are as follows. Each of you will have 2 timeouts. Fourth quarter timing rules will be in effect. All replays will come from upstairs. Challenges will come from the review upstairs. Visiting captain, call the toss, please. The call is heads. It is a head. Which way would you like the kicks? There we are. Seattle's won the toss and will receive.
Okay. You heard it all. Well done by Gene Steratore. Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, 2 overtime. Good ball game to wind up the regular season. Arizona Cardinals will kick it off. Sam Rosen, Chad Pennington, Jody Jackson here in Glendale, Arizona. Final game of the regular season for Arizona and Seattle goes to overtime. The winner will be 8-8, the losers 7-9. And both teams looking for momentum heading for the offseason and then next season. Jay Feely's kick. Leon Washington brings it back. Finds a lane. Here goes Washington. And he gets to the 40-yard line with a great return. Brought down by Sam Acho at the 40-yard line. 47-yard return.
Watch how definitive he is. He puts his foot in the ground, keeps it north and south. This guy's dynamic as a returner. He has 7 touchdowns for kickoff returns, and he just goes north and south, and he's able to make great cuts along the way.
Great starting position for the Seahawks. Tavares Jackson, the quarterback. The motion to tight end Cameron Mora. Here goes Marshawn Lynch. Nothing there. He was undercut. Good play by Darrell Washington to drop him for a loss of a yard. Marshawn Lynch, 86 yards on 19 carries in the game.
Cardinals still know that this running game of Seattle is the key to their success in overtime. They're making sure they get 8 men around the line of scrimmage to stop Marshawn Lynch.
Darrell Washington has had 11 tackles in the game. He's been outstanding. Short drop. Jackson throws, and it's dropped. Ben Obamanu turned. The pass was low, and he couldn't hold on. Patrick Peterson covering on the play.
Blanket coverage by Patrick Peterson. Tavares Jackson trying to make this back shoulder throw. If he had to do it all over again, he'd want that ball a little higher. So Obamanu, a taller receiver, could make a better play on the ball.
3rd and 11 for the Seahawks. Justin Forsett in at running back. Ricardo Lockett is in. He scored that long touchdown earlier. Jackson gets time, puts it up deep, and it is overthrown. Intended for Ricardo Lockett.
Ricardo Lockett one-on-one with Patrick Peterson. Watch Peterson run with Lockett, but you see the speed of Lockett.
Wow.
He can flat out fly. Ray Horton talked about with Patrick Peterson, teaching this young guy that it's not like college. In the NFL, they will throw at you no matter how good they think you are or you think you are. In college, it may be a little different, but they took their shots against Patrick Peterson that drive.
And Peterson back deep to receive the punt of John Ryan. This could be returned. Peterson from the 15, avoids one man, looking for an opening. And he's brought down up at the 17-yard line. Kennard Cox with the tackle. For the Arizona Cardinals, they've had some big wins. In overtime, it was a punt return by Patrick Peterson. At Philadelphia, they had the big catch by Larry Fitzgerald. And then Rod Stevens howling at a 52-yard touchdown reception.
What you like about those wins, Sam, a lot of people getting in on the action. Stevens howling, Early Doucette, your 2 Pro Bowlers, Fitzgerald and Peterson, everyone being a contributor.
Alfonso Smith, the running back. Anthony Sherman, the fullback from the 19. Skelton. And it's complete to Andre Roberts up to the 24-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play.
I imagine Mike Miller, the offensive coordinator for Arizona, talked with Skelton right there before overtime started. Settle down, John. Just go through your reads. Don't get antsy in the pocket. They come out. They believe in Skelton right off the bat with that quick throw.
Sherman, the fullback. LaRod Stevens howling in at running back. On 2nd and 5, Stevens howling. Trying to cut it back, slipped, and went down at the 26-yard line. We've seen a lot of slips on this grass surface. Now a big 3rd down play for the Cardinals. 3rd and 3. Skelton. 19 for 37, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Anthony Hargrove, number 94, good pass rusher in. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Skelton gets time. Fitzgerald with a leaping grab. And adds 10 yards after the catch. To the Seahawks 49-yard line, a gain of 25.
Are you kidding me? Larry Fitzgerald right here in the slot on the 3 receiver side. Free safety defense, and in between 2 defenders. This guy's concentration in traffic is remarkable, being able to go up and make this grab with his hands.
And after the catch, he adds on big-time yardage. 7 catches, 129 yards for Larry Fitzgerald. First down at the Seahawks 49. Roberts in motion. 2 tight ends to the right. Rod Stevens howling, gets outside. And a good tackle on the play by the rookie cornerback, Richard Sherman. Sherman, a 5th-round draft pick. And we said this earlier in the game. After 2 previous starters were injured, Marcus Trufant was one, Thurman the other. And Sherman is inserted, and he has played well.
And they like Sherman just as much as they like Brandon Browner. Both of these corners, tall, physical, and both of them not afraid to tackle on the edge.
Jay Feely is on standby. 2nd and 9. Everybody out. Skelton to Fitzgerald. Inside the 40. It's another first down. It looks to be a first down. You see where the spot is. He gained 9 on the play. Alan Branch came from behind to make the tackle.
Zone defense by Seattle. Larry Fitzgerald finding the hole and the extra effort trying to get the first down. He's hard to bring down, breaks tackles, very physical.
Did not get a favorable spot. It's about a half a yard short.
I wonder, having a 6'6" quarterback, would you just try to take the quarterback sneak here with it being 3rd and inches?
Two tight ends in. They motion Roberts. Rod Stevens howling. Puts his head down, but I don't know. I don't know. He didn't get much. Chris Clemens, number 91, in on the tackle. I don't think he got there.
And here's where the Cardinals miss Beanie Wells.
Yes.
He's inactive today with an injury. Got a big back. Stevens Howling's done a nice job rushing the football today with career highs in both carries and yards. But these are the situations for Beanie Wells, no doubt.
Rod Stevens howling at 5'7", 185. Tough to take on a big defensive end. And they'll measure to be sure. And there it is. About half a yard. So the Cardinals with a big play coming up, a 4th down play.
And now you see Alfonso Smith coming into the game, 6'1", 208. Bigger presence at halfback. But I'm not so sure I would try to use the quarterback sneak with a big quarterback like Skelton.
They've got the fullback, Anthony Sherman, in the lineup. 2 tight ends to the right. 4th and half a yard. Quarterback sneak. He didn't get much, but he didn't need all that much. Let's see where they spot it. First down, says Gene Steratore. He got just enough.
The key to the quarterback sneak: be patient, follow the double team. You've got the right side double team with Rex Hadnot, Jeremy Bridges. You don't go too early. You make sure you get the snap, secure the snap, and then follow that double team. That's exactly what Skelton did.
He got a yard, just short of the 37. Now it's a matter of getting into field goal range for Jay Feely. Rod Stevens howling, and he is stopped. He fights for about a yard, with a good job up front by Red Bryant, number 79. That's 6'4", 323. Red Bryant taking on 5'7", 185. Rod Stevens howling.
A nice play call for this situation, Sam. 2nd and 9. Give Skelton a run pass option. If you have the numbers for the run, you take it. If they want to bring safeties in the pressures and be around the football for the run game, check to a pass. Let's see what happens.
Fitzgerald's out to the right.
Look, Levi, look.
2 tight ends to the left. Short drop. Pass to Fitzgerald. Did he hold on? Another miraculous catch. That man's got glue on those gloves.
Wow. And you wonder why this guy's a Pro Bowler. Look at the catch. One-handed grab. But this just doesn't happen because of luck. This guy works on this stuff in practice. Like I said before, Friday's practice, he makes a leaping grab going down the sideline. You would think Friday would be more lackadaisical. Not for Larry Fitzgerald.
They are reviewing the play to make sure that he held on to the ball and completed the process of the catch.
Well, the best thing that Larry did there was, as he was making the catch, he manipulates his body in the air and tries to get to his back to where the football doesn't have a chance to hit the ground.
And all reviews come from upstairs, or are started from upstairs. The referee now goes under the hood.
Leaps with his right hand, makes the play, And as he curls it in, he goes to his back, which is a great job by him, making sure that the football doesn't hit the ground. From that angle, you can't tell if it's going to hit the ground or not. They don't have enough evidence unless they have a different angle.
It looked like he had it. It looked like he controlled it. And it was ruled a catch on the field. So they have to come up with conclusive evidence that he dropped the ball to overturn it. Pete Carroll with a look of concern on his face. If the catch stands, it looks like Arizona would be in field goal position. Let's go to our studio and Mike Pereira, our rules expert. What do you think?
I think he makes an incredible catch. He actually possesses the ball with one hand and gets it tucked into his body with control, and then completes the process of the catch by holding on the ball when he hits the ground. Watch him stick it in one hand, get it against his body. Now he's got control. Even if the ball touches the ground, he's maintained control. I think they confirm this as a catch.
Thanks, Mike. What an effort by Larry Fitzgerald.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, the ball could move just a little bit. He just has to maintain control. Is that correct?
All right, Gene Steratore coming out from underneath the hood with the important decision.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a catch. First down, Arizona.
Thanks, Mike, for your help as always. First down, Arizona at the Seattle 24-yard line. They are now within field goal range for Jay Feely.
And that's exactly what Arizona needed. They weren't going to be able to run the football with that safety pressure that Seattle was bringing. They're able to make the big throw by John Skelton, the unbelievable catch by Fitzgerald, getting into field goal range.
Two tight ends in. Rod Stevens howling. Straight ahead with a good block from Anthony Sherman, the fullback. Springs him down to the 16-yard line. Leroy Hill with a tackle, gain of 8. Quite a day for Rod Stevens, howling, career high 87 yards rushing on 19 carries. Now for Arizona, it's just a matter of setting it up. For Jay Feely. Stevens howling. Got another good block from Sherman. Gets it inside the 10. Down to the 9-yard line. And the fullback, Anthony Sherman, has helped open up a couple of big holes for Rod Stevens howling.
Early in the game, made a big-time block on K.J. Wright to spring Stevens howling for a huge gain of yardage. And now doing the same thing in crunch time, the crunch time Cards doing it again in overtime, looking for their 4th win in overtime this year.
Stevens howling, slips and falls at the 10-yard line. And now Ken Whisenhunt says, okay, it's Jay Feely time. And this is it to end the season on a winning note. The Arizona Cardinals looking for a record 4th overtime win. "28-yard try. The holder is Dave Zastudil. Mike Leach is the long snapper. It's on the way. Arizona wins it. We will be back. The Cardinals win it in overtime, 23-20 to end the season.